Hey YouTube, Shelka04 here. Hey, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, leave comments if you want. It helps me know what people are interested in and what to tailor my videos for. So today I want to talk about solenoids in your RV. And this is what a solenoid looks like. See right there? Now let's talk about the role the solenoid plays in your RV. You got two separate systems. You got the driving system, and then let's call it the recreating system. The driving system obviously is the engine and transmission and all that stuff up front. Part of the engine is the alternator, which keeps the battery charged up and also provides power to the distributor and makes your engine run while you're driving. Now, the back part, the recreating part of the RV, is where you hang out in the evenings and cook and watch TV and all that sort of stuff. And that system typically is fed off of either a generator, if you have it, or batteries, or batteries and a generator. But in our case, we've got just batteries. And so then therein lies the issue of attaching the front system while you're driving to the back system, so that the goal is to keep the batteries in back charged while you're driving along. And how do you facilitate that? But with a solenoid. And what a solenoid does is it takes high power in this side from, let's say, the engine. These are low current toggles or lugs, or let's call them, I guess, terminals. And here's the line out to the batteries in back. Now what happens is a low amperage 12 volt current is applied here, and there's an electromagnet in here that pushes a plunger over and connects these two, and so the front charges the back while you're driving along. Now here's the problem. This is a low amperage short use solenoid, and this is what you would typically use to start a car. And you've heard this in the old days. If you went to start a car and you heard like a clicking sound, click 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 click, that's the little there's not enough juice to engage the plunger from the electromagnet in here, and so it's just sort of popping click 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 click. Now the reason that these things fail is that this one is basically low amperage, so it's only designed to hold or to transfer the amount of amperage necessary to start your starter going. And in the case of this one, this isn't much more than maybe a 50 to a 75 amp solenoid. Now the problem is you can have either, because you're driving with this all day, you can have the electromagnet inside fuse on, and so basically that's shot. Or when the electromagnet is engaged in the two terminals, what happens then is you get welding across the two of those, and so the thing stays on as well. This is my fourth solenoid in the last 14 months. So what happens is you go into Napa, you ask for a solenoid, they pull this thing off the shelf, and basically they're setting you up for failure from the start. This is not what you want. What you want is called a continuous use solenoid. And that's something like you would see being used in a golf cart, or in a winch, or in a tow cable situation. Something where you've got a lot of amperage and you want to use it for a long time. Now the solenoid I'm going to show you is one that I installed up front the other day. It's a 200 amp continuous use solenoid. So because it's 200 amps, I don't have to worry about the terminals welding together. Because it's continuous use, I can drive all day without overheating the electromagnet and causing that to fail. So let's go out and look at it, and I'll answer any questions that you may have. So there's the new continuous use 200 amp solenoid. And the only difference, I guess, between this one and the one in back that I just showed you is that this one's silver. Now the problem you're going to have is if you go to a golf cart supply place, that's probably a $100 item. And I say that because I looked here in town and they were charging 90 bucks. But if you do a little preventative maintenance and apply a little forethought, then you can order this thing off the internet and get it in about 2 or 3 days and only pay $15. So that's my suggestion. Go with the continuous use solenoid rated for higher amperage, and you don't have to worry about the systems in back draining or failing as a result of your solenoid not working correctly. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them by way of comments, and I'll answer them there. Otherwise, Shelka04 out. Thank you.